What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports, and the Premier League fixtures for the 2020-21 season have been revealed. They have been released this morning, about 15 minutes ago. Yes, it's an interesting start. It's an interesting start. I don't think it's a very exciting start, but I mean, it's a Premier League. You're always going to be excited at one point or another. And they have been released. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. And we'll start off with the champions, Liverpool, who have been drawn to play Leeds at Anfield in their first game of the season. The other fixtures, you got Fulham versus Arsenal, London derby, Spurs versus Everton, West Brom, Leicester, not even the Midlands derby. I get maybe one's east, one's west. Brighton, Chelsea. It's not that exciting. I'm not gonna lie. Then you got Burnley against Man United and Man City versus Aston Villa. Neither of who are actually playing in the first Premier League game because of their European exploits, the first game week. So they're gonna start a game behind, and I'm not sure exactly when they'll have to catch up. But when you really look at the fixtures, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not excited. I'm not excited by the first one. I think Liverpool versus Leeds is probably the most intriguing. I guess Spurs and Everton you might think is very closely matched because of the two sides and what they're aiming for, etc., the size of the clubs, etc. But I'm not excited by this start of the season. I know it's random, so they say, but I wish they could do a bit more. Just do a bit more. I'm not excited. But I'm excited for the start of the season. But Liverpool, Leeds, as I say, it's going to be interesting because Liverpool are the champions. You want to see how the champions are going to really set the pace. How they're going to set, especially with Man City not playing on game week 1. Liverpool are going to be there to set the pace, get a win under their belts, and put the immediate pressure under Manchester City. Lay down a marker. If they go out and tonk Leeds 4-5-0, they lay down a marker. But on the other side, the flip side, Leeds have to make an impression in their Premier League season. So they say, you know what, we're back in the big time. What can we actually do? Are we going to be another Norwich, or are we going to make a real fist of it like a Wolves, a Sheffield United? I mean, Aston Villa, they stayed up, which is all you can really ask for when you come up from the Championship. So maybe Leeds can lay down their own little marker in the first game of the season. You know, we might look at it and say, you know what, this team's going to be hard to beat. Or they're going to play good football, you know. So I think that's an interesting game. Other than that, I'm not really excited by the first game week. However, going forward, we've got in the second game of the season, Chelsea versus Liverpool. Now, this fixture has a lot of history to it, a lot of history. I think being at Stamford Bridge with their no fans, second game of the season, anything can really happen. Liverpool are maybe going to go in with pretty much the same team as they ended last season. Chelsea are going to have a bunch of new signings, it looks like, for the start of the season. The likes of Ziyech, Werner, possibly Chilwell and Havertz as well to add to that. And if they get any more signings over the line. So that's going to be a test for them to say, let's see what we can do this season. Lampard, boys, let's see what we can do this season. Chelsea versus Liverpool, second game of the season. At the same time, Wolves will be hosting Manchester City. And that's a game that Man City flopped in this season, if we're going to be honest. I think they lost at home. I can't remember what the away fixture result was. But the defensive issues were highlighted in games against teams like Wolves. Adama Traore exposing them at the back, and you know, with the additions of a Nathan Ake and possibly a Koulibaly by the time the Premier League season starts, you have to wonder, like, well, let's see, can Man City themselves lay down a marker? Because that would be their first game. I'm not sure when the first game is actually going to be rearranged from both Man United and Man City, but that could possibly be their first game of the season. So Man City it's not an easy start to go to Wolves away for your first game of the season, having, you know, especially if they've already played one. Their first game would have been against Sheffield United, not an easy game itself, but that's not going to be easy for Man City. They could already be behind the 8 ball when it comes to playing Liverpool. Liverpool could be all 6 points clear at that point, if we take the last couple of seasons with anything to go by. Man United playing Crystal Palace, fairly decent start. Next game week, you got Liverpool versus Arsenal. Listen, Liverpool are either going to have a very difficult start or a very easy end, depending on what you look at it. Because it's like, oh, you've got Chelsea, got Arsenal, at the start of the season, Leeds, Arsenal, Leeds, Chelsea, Arsenal, match week 1, 2, and 3. But then that means at the end of the season, you're probably going to have easy fixtures. Even though you obviously have to play these guys again probably around January time. End of the season, you're going to have quote-unquote easy fixtures. I haven't actually looked that far down the line. Of course, there's other teams that can cause anyone trouble. Question here from Hardcode FC. Do I think, United can win the title next season? No, I don't think Man United can win the title next season. I think realistically closing the gap, I think we finished 30-odd points behind Liverpool, 15 points maybe or something like that behind City. I think closing the gap to the top, whoever the top team is, whether it's Man City or Liverpool, I think we want to be, I think realistically an aim of 10 points max. I said 10 points max. Anything closer, you're in a proper title race. And based on the lack of signings we've made so far, I can't see us being in a proper title race next season. But I would say closing the gap to about 10 points next season is a realistic aim for Manchester United. But yeah, game week 3, as I said, Liverpool versus Arsenal, Man City versus Leicester. That's a big game week. That is a big game week. We know Leicester just missed out on top 4 this season. So again, it's going to be interesting to see how Brendan Rodgers can get the guys back up, get them firing on all cylinders, especially with Europa League football as well. Another factor to contend with. To go to Man City after 3 games, not going to be easy. But yes, you have to play everyone twice. But everyone twice. But then, as I said, Liverpool versus Arsenal, that's the big fixture for that game week. Game week 4, Manchester United host Tottenham Hotspurs. Jose Mourinho returns to Old Trafford, but there's going to be no fans, so he might enjoy it. He might be in a better place. Last time he came to Old Trafford, and well, we dealt him one. I think that's when Ollie did his little tap on Mourinho's head and said, "Listen, I am the boss now. I am the master now." But yeah, Jose's going to return. Game week 4 could be Man United's 3rd game. I'm not sure exactly when their first game is going to be rearranged for. And then game week 5, Manchester City versus Arsenal. Other than the first game week, which I'm not very gassed about, from game week 2, 3, 4, 5, big games every single week. We're going to be getting some super Sundays. Manchester City host Arsenal. I mean, Man City usually rings around Arsenal these days. It gets embarrassing. I'm not going to lie, it gets embarrassing. However, Arsenal will be possibly fresh with a few new signings. There's talk about Gabriel from Lille. I don't know much about him, but there's talk about him coming in. Of course, William Saliba will be an Arsenal player at that point on their books, ready to play. Possibly the likes of Thomas Partey. Aubameyang probably would have signed a new contract. So it could be a new, fresh, rejuvenated Arsenal, who are also FA Cup winners, could be Community Shield winners by the time, of course, they're playing Liverpool. I think it's next weekend, I believe, for the Community Shield. So, of course, given the start of the season, you know how much momentum you might go into that game with. Question here from Neville Chukwujekwe. How many wins from our first 6 games? Who do you support? I have no idea who you support. Man United? Let me know who you support, and I can answer that question. And then the next, in the same game week, Everton versus Liverpool, Merseyside derby in game week 5. So as I said, from game week 2 onwards, it really hops up. And then we move on to game week 6, Arsenal versus Leicester. That's going to be a big game. and Manchester United versus Chelsea. Ollie versus Lampard again. We meet again. We played them 4 times this season. 1-3. Lost a big one. They're all big, but lost the last one in the FA Cup semi-final. So someone's going to want to look to turn the tide. Of course, we're going to want revenge. Chelsea's going to want to have to lay down a marker to say things have changed. Things have changed. Man United versus Chelsea. So, listen, I've just seen the last game in October. I've just seen it. Man United versus Arsenal. Listen, it's peak. It's peak. Oh, listen. Okay, to answer your question, how many wins from our first 6 games? Let me pull up Man United's first 6 games. So we have got. It's a hard one because we've got. Let's say 7. The reason why I'm going to say 7 because we don't know when the first game week is going to be rescheduled for. So the first games. Actually, let me see if I can bring this up on the screen. So I've just gone to the Man United website. Can you not see that? Let me make it a bit bigger. Right. So we have got for our first 6 games of the season, or first 7, Burnley away to be confirmed today. Crystal Palace at home, Brighton away, Spurs at home, Newcastle away, Chelsea home, Arsenal home. Now, so let's say 7. Burnley, of course, every game is tough in the Premier League, but I'm backing the boys. So I'm going Burnley win, as in Man United. Burnley away, we win. Crystal Palace at home, we win. Brighton away, we win. Spurs at home, we win. Newcastle away, we win. Chelsea at home, we win. Arsenal at home, we might draw. We haven't been Arsenal all last season. Now, realistically, including the Burnley game, I'm going 4 wins. 4 wins, 2 draws. Of course, you might lose one, you might win another, but 4 wins, 2 draws. What's that? 60. We say it's first 6 game. 16, 18. 18 points from the first 6 games. 18? No. What am I talking about? 14 points from the first 6 games. 14 points from the first 6 games. I mean, it could be a good start to the season, but you got to look at Liverpool, Man City. What are they doing? Are they winning all 6? What are Chelsea doing? What are Arsenal doing themselves? So, I mean, the problem is you get 4 wins and then you draw with Spurs, you draw with Chelsea. 4 wins and 2 draws ain't bad, but then not beating your rivals can be very detrimental. So you want to win. Like, you might even take a draw against a Newcastle away, providing that you beat Spurs or Chelsea or Arsenal, because you want to really put a dent into your rivals and lay down your own mark. And we did that this season. We started off, we beat Chelsea 4-0 at the start of the season. We had a very good record. We beat Man City twice in the league, once in the cup. Who else? We beat Spurs at home. Arsenal, I said we didn't beat them this season. We drew at home. And am I missing someone? Liverpool, we drew and lost. Yeah, so I think 6 games. Sorry about that. Big 6 games are very, very important in the season. So you might take a draw away at Newcastle and win against a Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, and that can have a bigger effect than just accumulating points against. Of course, accumulating points against smaller teams is important because there's more smaller teams, but the knock-on effect of being a rival can do much more wonders going forward than a draw just for a draw's sake, if you get what I'm saying. Question from Sean, or Sean, depending on how you want to pronounce it. What's your final prediction as to Man United's position at the end of the season? As it stands, I'm going to say top 4. I'll say 4th. As it stands, I'll say 4th. We ain't signed anyone. Chelsea have. Arsenal haven't signed anyone. Spurs haven't signed anyone. And neither have Leicester. So I can't see us dropping outside the top 4. But I could see Chelsea going ahead of us because of who they signed. that being said, it's all going to change. Like, we'll do our predictions on our podcast just before the season starts. But then that could all change come October because that's when the transfer window closes. So I might have to make two predictions. I'll make a prediction just before the season starts, and I'll make a prediction if anything really changes just before the transfer window ends. Funny French eye test. I mean, he's not here, is he? He's not in the comments. I don't see him anywhere. Yeah, guys, Premier League, man. What fixtures are you looking forward to early? Which one do you want me to check out? When are Man United got Man? Oh, Saturday the 7th of November. It's the big one. It's the big one. That is what, game week 7, I think. Manchester City versus Liverpool. That is the big one. That is the big one. Because we're going to be honest. We could sign Sancho. We could sign Partey. We could sign Koulibaly. I don't think we're winning. I don't think we're signing them, first and foremost. But I don't think we're winning the Premier League regardless. Man City and Liverpool are the front runners this season. You have to be honest. Regardless of who you support. You have to be honest. That could have grave repercussion because this season, when Liverpool hosted Man City early on and they beat them, what, 3-1? I want to say 3-1. But it could have been 3-0. Can't remember. This season's been a long season. We're coming full circle. We haven't even finished the season with the Champions League and the Europa League final still to go. But yeah, when Liverpool beat Man City in about October, November, whenever it was, at that point, I said, league done. League is done. Man City ain't catching Liverpool at that point. Liverpool were on a mad team, and Man City were shaky already. Now, Man City are hosting Liverpool. They're a different proposition at Etihad. Even, yeah, thank you, Funny French, 3-1. Even without the fans, Man City don't really play with fans anyway, but they're a different proposition at Etihad. If Man City can get a win early against Liverpool in the Premier League, things are really interesting. Things are really interesting at that point. Very, very interesting. Funny French says Chelsea versus Liverpool. Yeah, that's an early fixture, if I'm correct. I think I had that. I think we spoke about that one earlier. Yes, Chelsea versus Liverpool, Saturday the 19th. I mean, they're going to change, but 19th of September, which is game week 2. Second game week, Chelsea versus Liverpool. Massive game. Jordan Brown says, I would have loved for us, United, to have played the big teams early and snatch points from them. Well, we're not playing them late. We're not playing them too late. We are playing Spurs, Chelsea, and Arsenal all at home in October, as well as Newcastle away. So it's not an easy, October. But I'm not sure if I want to play all of them at home, because then later on in the season, you're just going to get all of them away in a where when it really comes to, a squeaky bum time, but when the pressure's on, you've got fixtures after fixtures, mixing Champions League with domestic games and cup competitions, and the fixture pile up around December. But if I go down to Man United's, let's see, we go down November, Everton, West Brom, Southampton. That's cool. December. Wait, when do we play Liverpool? We don't play Liverpool until January the 16th. That's a long way away. But yeah, so December, we got West Ham away, Man City at home, Sheffield away, Leeds at home, Leicester away, Wolverhampton at home. It's not a terrible December. It's not an easy one because that Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, that little free there. Oh, listen, actually, it's not an easy one at all. West Ham away is not going to be easy. Man City at home ain't going to be easy. Sheffield United, based on this season, ain't going to be easy away. Leeds is going to be a massive derby, even though we're at home. Leicester away and Wolves at home is tough. October and December are very, very tricky months. But you get a couple of victories in there, and it turns into very, very good months. Going into January, We've got Villa home, Fulham away, Liverpool away, Sheffield at home, and then Arsenal away. As I said, we get the payback. So we play all those teams at home early in the season, and then the payback at the end of the season. That's my only issue. The first half of the season, Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, all at home before December. Come the end of the season, we have to get the payback. In February, we go to Chelsea away, end of February. That could obviously change with the League Cup, depending who gets to the final. That's mad. Back to back, we've got Chelsea away, 27th of February, and Man City away, March 6th. The payback. It's not, and that's why I wanted a bit of a mixture in terms of home and away at the start of the season. Wanted a bit of a mixture. I don't like all these big games at home at the start of the season, because end of the season when it's all about momentum, it's tricky. It's a tricky fixture list. Of course, you always say you have to play everyone twice, but there's ways that the fixture list can fall to benefit or hamper your side, and I'm not overly keen. Then May, we have Liverpool at home, 1st of May, Villa away, Leicester at home, Fulham at home, and Wolverhampton Wanderers away for the last game of the season. I mean, by then we would have won the Premier League, so it doesn't really matter, innit? No. But, whew, let's see. Shayon says, is it not better to give more game time to Greenwood and freeze him out this season? Prefer a proper centre-forward signed and left centre-back. Look, the thing with that one, because you say a proper centre-forward signed. Greenwood is a centre-forward. Greenwood by trade is a centre-forward. So, I'm not saying, obviously, by signing a centre-forward, you don't hamper him in the sense that he can still play on the right, which he's been doing. But equally, he is a centre-forward. So, if you're talking about another centre-forward, he can be that guy, and you buy someone on the right. I don't think we'll be freezing him out this season regardless, because I assume Pereira and Lingard are probably going to go. Then you end up with Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, hopefully Sancho, Dan James. Dan James, we'll put to one side. He's going to be the one that's probably more frozen out than anyone else. You have those 4 players, quick restart to the season, so not much time for match fitness, etc. I think if we were to get Sancho will probably be the most fittest out of all of them based on the fact that their pre-season has already started. You're in the Premier League, which is 38 games. You're in the Champions League, which you're playing at least 6 games, the group stage, we hope more. Then you got the FA Cup, you got the League Cup. I don't think anyone's hampered, if I'm going to be really honest. There's enough rotation, enough games to rotate, dips in form, fitness issues. Martial was out for 8 weeks this season. Rashford was out for even longer. So, I mean, I'm not worried about game time if we just sign one more forward, that being Jadon Sancho. Neville says, I think 85 points will be enough to win the league this season. I'm not going to rule it out, but when you look at the last few seasons, it's taken. Let me pull up the last few seasons, Premier League table. But obviously, last season 99 points with Liverpool won it, but obviously 82 points would have won it, seeing as Man City got 81. The season before, Man City got 98, Liverpool got 97. Season before that, Man City got 100, Man United got 81. So obviously, again, 82 would have won it. 2017, 93, Chelsea got. Spurs got 86. 2016, Leicester got 81. Arsenal got 71. 10 points. Chelsea, and then the season before 2015, Chelsea got 87. Man City got 79. What I would say is that I can't see Liverpool going and getting near 100 points again. They got 97 points previous season, 99 points last season. There's going to be a drop-off. They're not going to, I can't see them doing 100 again or near enough. Man City got 100 and then they got 98. And then you saw the big drop-off this season. To do that 3 years in a row, because Liverpool, even though they only won 1 title, they had title-winning form for 2 of those games, 2 of those seasons. So for them to go again, I will be very, very surprised. So yeah, you might be right. 85 points could be enough. 85. But I think realistically, you aim for 90 to win the league. 90 wins you the league. 85 could be enough. I agree. Funny friends, Liverpool need a new striker. Backup? You mean backup? Because the way Firmino plays, it suits Mane and Salah in terms of their goal scoring exploits. Blue FT216. The Boxing Day period can get spicy. One of the top 6 could be playing 5 games in that period because of the Carabao Cup quarter-final is in... Oh, it's okay. That's in the 29th or 26th. Yes. Well, it's December. I mean, December is always a busy time. Always a busy time. And of course, with the Carabao Cup, that's going to be another distraction obstacle. Let's call it obstacle. I'm going to be honest with the Carabao Cup. I want them to get rid of it. England are now the only top 5 domestic league or the country with 2 domestic cup competitions, the FA Cup and the League Cup. France, this was their last season of it. And I think we need to get rid of it for the Premier League. I mean, especially for teams in Europe. For teams in Europe, forget it. It's nonsense. It's a waste of time. Everyone plays their second team, including Man City. It's just that Man City's second team are so much better that it looks like it's their first side. It's a joke. I think keep it for either Championship or below, or teams not in Europe in the Premier League and below. I think for me. Fidan, hello from Macedonia. Good luck to Leeds. Liverpool's going to be a big test for Bielsa. Yes, I mean, I hate them both. But for Man United's sake, I hope Leeds win that game. Jordan says Greenwood needs the whole bench. He's not fully ready yet. He can't be starting 80% of the games unless we get new coaches. No, I agree. Listen, he's 18 years old. I don't want to put the pressure on him of having to start 15 games, to be starting 80% of our games this season. If he's just completely murking it and you can't drop him, so be it. But when you don't have options or backup, then regardless of whether he's murking or not, the pressure's on him to play. And the backup in the likes of Lingard, Pereira, and James ain't good enough. So we definitely need to go and get someone out there. Liverpool are not better than Man City. Well, listen, they won the league, 99 points. They won the Champions League last year. Man City can't do that. I have to put respect on their name. Yeah, relax, Sam. Liverpool won Champions League title, not in the same season. Not in the same season. I know the pictures are out there. It looks like they won all 4 trophies. They didn't. They split over 2 seasons, and they're no longer European champions. They got knocked out to Atletico Madrid. The title is vacant for either PSG or Bayern Munich to take that. Yusuf Mohammed, Leeks, I will see you on the dugout, I guess, because that's where that comes from. Have Hope's channel. So I will see you on the dugout Q&A later. Guys, make sure you go and, you know what, I'm going to drop it in the description below. Make sure you go and subscribe to the Football Dugout channel. So for those you don't know, it's we do this on Mondays and Thursdays over on the Have Hope Football Hut. At the moment, we're starting our own channel, the Football Dugout, and it's me, Have Hope, and Devo. So we're gonna go live. If I can even bloody find the channel because it's literally just started. We're gonna go live for the first game of the season. Is this it? No, that's not it. When I find it, I'm gonna put it in the description below when I find it. And make sure you go check it out, subscribe to it, and we'll be going live from the first game of the season. At the moment, you can go over to Have Hope Football Hut, and we go live on Mondays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Sometimes we go a bit earlier if there's matches on the same day, but we're going to be live today at 8 p.m. for the Q&A. So make sure you get your questions in. I'll be tweeting out later today to get your questions in. Let me see if I can find the link. Give me a second, guys. Cool. Who's doing that drilling outside my house? The Football Dugout. There we go. So at the moment, we are on 132 subscribers. We are scheduled for a Premier League preview on the 11th. Bloody hell. Give me a second, guys. There's a lot of noise going on outside. Cool, blimey. I'm back. Yeah, I'm gonna put that. So I've got 100. We're gonna go live on the Premier League preview on the 11th of September. So I will put that link in the description now. So when the stream's over, just refresh your page and you will see the link there. So yeah, make sure you head over to that. Who do I think will win the Champions League? PSG or Bayern Munich? I mean, Bayern Munich are favourites. You have to be honest. Bayern Munich are the favourites. I do want PSG to win though, but Bayern Munich are the favourites. Joined here by Ramsey. We were wrapping up soon, but since you're here, Premier League fixtures, we're going through them. I'm saying that, listen, I'm not too excited about that first game week. That it's not getting, like, other than the fact that it is the Premier League, no fixture there is really standing out. I think the Liverpool Leeds one is probably the most exciting. Based on all the fixtures that you're seeing, what are you getting excited about right now?
Listen, I'm not mad at that list at all, man, because if there's a big game in there, it means that there's a 1 in 6 chance it's going to be us. So I want the easiest fixtures as possible, so I don't mind. I'll take that. We got Fulham away. Should be 3 points for all the top 6 clubs, although I know United and City, I ain't going to play that first week. But, you know, football is a funny game, innit? It never really works out that well.
Yeah, definitely not going to be it.
Bamford hat-trick against Liverpool.
Someone's going to be getting bantered on that first game week, I guarantee it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, yeah, so no big games to start, which is the first time in a while we've not had a big game to start the season. So I guess the Liverpool game will definitely be live. And then the rest will just be picking out of a hat, I guess.
Let me go to the Arsenal. I haven't even checked you, but I'll go to.
We got a tough start. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it?
We got Liverpool, United, and City away between September and October.
I mean, listen. Okay. All away.
All away.
Because a tough start, and I mean, nothing's easy in the Premier League, but you get the payback on the other side.
We don't win away games with the top 6 clubs. That's 3 losses. I mean, I know Arteta did some magic towards the end of the season, but when everyone's bucked, legs gone, everyone's going to be fresh, ready to go. I mean, yeah, we'll get it back at some point, but how far do you want to drop to start chasing back, innit? And there's no guarantees you win the other games. I mean, and if maybe 1 or 2 was at home, then you get a bit of confidence going through. But Liverpool away, City away, and United away. I mean, but at the other end, it's a chance to try and get something from one of those 3 games whilst you're playing them.
But I think actually, like, we've got all these home fixtures. We've got in October we've got Spurs, Chelsea, and Arsenal all in October at home. And I'm like, I don't want them all at home. I want one away, one at home, because then in January, February, then we've got Man City at home, I think in December. Then January, February, March, we've got Chelsea, Man City, Spurs, Arsenal all away from home.
Yeah.
And I know they're not all back-to-back. Chelsea and Man City away are back-to-back, by the way, from February to March. But I'm like, that's a crunch time of the season. Champion football returns. You're going in the competitions. I don't want to be going away to Man City after, I don't know, a Champions League away game or something like that. So I would have rather some of our home fixtures at the start, some away fixtures, the big games. The smaller games, home away, you expect your team to win. Obviously, it doesn't happen, but you expect your team to win. I'm just going to bring up the Arsenal fixtures here. So, can you see that? Yeah, so you got Fulham, West Ham, Liverpool. All right. Start of the season.
The Fulham West Ham London derbies has to be 6 points.
What can I say? September to October, 7 games. How much points are you looking to, realistically, how much are you looking to get?
Boy, Sheffield and Leicester as well in there at home.
That's a tough October. Tough October.
Boy, I mean, as I said, the Fulham West Ham. If we get off to a good start, 6 points on the board, then you're in with a chance to try and get elsewhere. As Sheffield, oh boy, I don't even know what Sheffield's going to
You
turn up
don't know
this
what Sheffield's going to do this season.
year.
If you base it
And
on
Leicester.
this season, well, yeah, Leicester. But I think Leicester, regardless, you always expect a tough game. Sheffield just might be second season.
Yeah.
And
The only thing with Leicester, the Leicester game comes after Europa League. After we both play in Europa League that week, it's the first round of the Europa League before that game, and then the week after, Man United is also after Europa League as well. So it's like a double header, Champions League, Europa League in there. So that gives us a little bit more of a chance of Leicester, because I think Leicester will play their strongest team in Europa League as well as the Premier League, because they haven't got a squad to really rotate as much. Whereas I think we'll do more rotation depending on the fixture. But yeah, man, I mean, 12 points will be great, I think, there, and that's not even a lot. So, I mean, 7 games, 12 points, not great. But as I said, if we beat the first 2, I can't see us beating City. And if we lose to Liverpool and City, then the Man United game is massive for us. I mean, we need to try and get something at Old Trafford. And as I said, we're not great there either. So, but boy, man, I mean, every game as it comes, innit? Every game as it
on a
comes.
completely separate note, is this Gabriel deal to Arsenal done? I'm seeing a lot,
No.
but I'm also seeing nothing.
The hope it's all hope, innit? There's nothing's complete. There's £22 million bid has been submitted. It looks like it's been accepted, but Napoli are up their bid apparently. So he's basically got to decide between Napoli, Everton, and Man United are hanging around. So there's a chance, but yeah, it's not. I'm not counting my chickens yet. I'm just waiting to see what happens.
The way that I'm seeing things, I'm like, Arsenal have signed him. The way that I'm looking on Twitter, I'm thinking, but I don't. Everyone's saying it, but I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing, like, I've seen Arsenal won the race from like one report on the Telegraph, I think. But the last thing I heard was that, yeah, both Napoli and Arsenal had kind of deals. Arsenal and Napoli had deals agreed with Lille, and the player had to choose between. But also that obviously Napoli are supposed to be selling Koulibaly to Man City possibly. And
yeah,
if they do that, then they're gonna go all in for Gabriel. So maybe he's holding out that to see, because I guess if put like this, if Napoli sell Koulibaly, they're either gonna raise their bid for the player to secure the signing in terms of only Lille will accept their bid, or they'll like possibly increase like the wages, and then they get into a little bit maybe a bidding war with Arsenal.
As we had last year with Lille for Pepe.
Oh, of course. But then I think so what Napoli are banking on is the fact that they sold Victor Osimhen, I think his name is, the youngster.
Yeah.
To Napoli as well, so they got a bit of a decent relationship there as well. But we will see. We will see. I was wondering.
The thing is, the deal. I think the deal is going to be completed soon, so I don't think there's enough time to get Koulibaly deal done with City and then go for Gabriel. It looks like he's ready to go soon. Like the clubs are starting back now, already training and stuff. So nothing's going to be straightforward with that deal either. There's no guarantee City are definitely going to be going in for Koulibaly. I don't even know if they will, to be honest.
Yeah, you ever seen him play?
What do you mean?
Gabriel, have you ever seen him play? I have no idea of anything about him at all.
He played against Chelsea in the Champions League last year.
Okay.
But Chelsea scored 4, I think. So I don't know. He's left-footed Brazilian. That's about what I know. And
Saliba, Saliba is what? Is he not? Is he left-footed?
No, he's right-footed.
Oh, okay.
He's right-footed. So that will be the
wait. So you're like changing up your whole centre-back partnership? Mustafi gone, David gone, Socrates holding, Chambers, everyone gone.
Listen, changes is needed in it. But as I said, I ain't counting my chickens yet, boy, because it's early, and it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what he does, because Murray's signed a 4-year deal in the summer. Luis signed a 2-year deal, so those two will definitely be staying. Saliba's coming in, And if Gabriel comes in, that's 4. I think Socrates will go. I don't know about Mustafi. Don't know about Chambers. Don't know about Holding. I think they're open to listening to offers, but I guess it all depends on whether Arteta wants to go 3 at the back. I'll be surprised if he carries on with 3 at the back. I think it was just a means to an end to last season to see what happened to end the season. So, man, if Gabriel comes in, for me, it's a great deal for us in terms of changing up the defense. Whether it becomes the right thing, time will tell. What it may not be, but he's 22 years old. Saliba's young as well, so the start of a new defensive stability at Arsenal is what a man's hoping for, isn't
I heard that one before. Ahmed Ibrahim is peak for United. No Sancho. I mean, it's not done yet. So I don't know what you want me to say. My thoughts are that it's not done. That's all I can say. My thoughts are that it's not done. Jordan Brown being overhyped like Saliba. They call Saliba next Varane. Varane has never been world class. I mean, I don't know.
Varane was up there, man. Varane was, I mean, world class. Don't know, but he was up there. I mean, he was definitely like, and he still is up there. Like he still is.
Yeah, of course.
He's a great. But the problem is like young players develop in all different ways, isn't it? Saliba, all I can say from what I've seen of Saliba, he's got the potential to be great. Whether that potential gets met, time will tell, won't it? With all of these guys.
I mean, you could sell him off to Werder Bremen or Wolfsburg, wherever he went, and maybe become world class at Bayern Munich at a later.
Maybe, innit? Maybe if he decides, if he gets his head turned by the Germans. But I've actually got more hope for Saliba than Gabriel personally. But again, it all just depends what happens, innit? We don't know.
Back to the fixtures quickly. In December, which we all know December is a very busy period, you got Spurs away, North London derby, Burnley, Southampton home, Everton away, Chelsea home, Brighton away. You happy with that December? In terms of, obviously it's going to be busy, but is it all right, or you think tough fixtures?
It's just packed up really, but the Spurs game is NLD, so it's like there's no real favourites in that game really. And then Chelsea at home, I'm not mad at. So, and then the others are like, you know, you kind of hope you get 3 points from them, and so I'm not mad at that December at all. For me, it all depends on how we go into November. If we go into November healthy, looking at the table and we're not far off, we're not like distance away, then it just leads us to have a decent run. But as you said, with Europa League and injuries and suspension, all that sort of stuff, like you just don't know how you're gonna start really. Yeah, man, we'll see what happens.
Good luck, Adam. Morning from Louis fan. So happy for us to play Liverpool. I mean, yeah, you're gonna need the luck in it, because Premier League is a different kettle of fish to Championship. But as I said, if you can do something like what Wolves and Sheffield done, that would be great. But realistically, you just want to do what Aston Villa did and stay up.
Yeah,
that's where everyone comes up. You just want to stay up.
Or you do a Norwich and you just beat a Man City and then go down.
Yeah,
do your bit for the league table.
May, your last game of the season, Brighton at home, you take that one. I mean, ride on the last game at that stage. But if it does, Brighton at home is a fixture you want.
I mean, the last 6 games, really, 7, 8 even, looking back. I'm saying Sheffield, Fulham, Everton, Newcastle, West Brom, Chelsea, Palace, Brighton. If we get into a stage where we're in and around top 4 as we were under Emery last year, it's a case of do your job. It's a case of you've done your bit to get here. Now do your job to end the season. Yeah. So I'm not mad at that end whatsoever. We've got a tough start, and then the fixtures kind of tail out from there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But game by game, man. Game by game.
I know, you really just got to take. And as I said, start of the season, it'll be like, oh, it's tough. And then you sign 2 players after 2 weeks of the season, and then your October is looking bright. It's a different thing. You
Transfer window closes October 4th, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's 5th. Yeah. So you can start the season with not a completely different squad, but some key players that you ain't got, and then the rest of the season you got them. going forward.
I
Alexis,
heard there's a week of like domestic leagues that are still open, something like that.
say that again?
There's like a week where the domestic window's open, but you can't do your abroad windows closed.
What, for Premier League or?
I'm sure I saw that. I'm sure I saw that somewhere. Yeah.
Alexis Abuka says, bro, October. If you're talking about Man United, yep, tough October. We got Spurs home, Newcastle away, Chelsea at home. Yeah, Chelsea home, Arsenal home. I think those are the 4 fixtures in October. Hopefully we have Sanchez. Ooh, maybe not Sanchez. Sancho by then. If not, then yeah, it's gonna be tough. Every game is gonna be tough if we don't get the sign that we need to get. Did you find anything in the transfer?
I'm having a look, but no, I can't say. It just says 5th as far as I see.
Yeah, I think we should.
Oh yeah, no, look, yeah, the Premier League have said that the following contention with the English Football League, a domestic-only window will be added from the October the 5th, and then will close on October the 16th. Transfers between Premier League clubs will not be able to occur during this time. Oh, it's only EFL clubs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if you want, but it says between Premier League clubs. So maybe could Premier League clubs buy from the Championship, or is it
top? It says top flight sides can trade with EFL clubs and loan or sign players permanently.
Okay.
So any little bargain deals you might see.
I guess you get all your European deals out of the way, and then if there's any domestic deals like Championship, like even some of the relegated, it might be like a Max Aarons or a Jamal Lewis on the side, but let's wait. We can do that. There's a bit more time to do that. So yeah, that one's out of the way. But guys, listen, that is it. The Premier League fixtures are revealed. Good luck to everyone who isn't challenging Manchester United. Manchester United, do your thing. All the rivals, to hell with the rest of you lot. But no, it's going to be interesting Premier League season. Different, no fans, quick start. There's going to be some changes to domestic cups in terms of fixtures, replays, etc. So it's going to be an interesting season. We'll do our predictions and all that just before the season starts, and might have to do a revised one after the transfer window closes, because a lot can change between September the 12th and October the 5th. Guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And again, as I said, refresh the stream straight away. In the description, you'll see the Football Dugout channel where we're going to be going live just before the season starts with our first live video on that channel. As it is at the moment, we're on the Have Hope Football Hut, so I'll be there at 8 p.m. today for our live Q&A, and of course on Mondays at 8 p.m. every week. And me and Ramsey will see you again soon.